so scary.
It's always scary.
Every time I see that, I say, wow, I'm on this show.
Stuff. It is some scary stuff. Let me change it up just a little. Scaring one of the guests away a couple weeks ago.
That's right. You frightened some people.
That's right. What's going on, boys? How you guys doing tonight?
Nothing, man. Doing great. How about you?
Good. How's everyone doing in chat, too? There's a lot of people in here.
Yeah. Got some lonely folks out here on a Friday.
Yeah, we were going to have a show, and then we weren't going to have a show because the internet's fucking up. And then it started working again, but it's in and out. Me and Papa Willie want to find a spot where we can find a good signal and fish at the same time. So we're going to go hunt down a spot maybe this week. And next Friday's show, we'll do it from a fishing spot at night. Because that's crazy shit's happened to me and this guy. We found dead bodies and everything else fishing. So there's no telling what will happen.
What?
If we
There's a story I want to hear.
Doing live shows. Oh, yeah. We found, there was the one in Mendota that was like all ate up. And then, yeah, it was like
one. How many of you found? Wait, what's going on?
It was like a human spine that went into the pelvic bone and everything. And then, like, just the one leg was gone, and there was only part of another leg. And we call and report it, and the cops come in and they tell us, oh, yeah, they marked it all off, threw us out of there. And they said that wasn't a human body. We started laughing. They don't want to tell you what it is, but we started laughing. We told them, dude, we're the ones that called you. We seen it, like we told you what it was. But yeah, they kept saying, no, that wasn't a human body on that one anyway. I don't know why they tried to cover it up, but that was the only time that happened. And then,
but you only saw like the spine and the pelvis, though. It could have been like a deer or something like that, maybe.
Oh no.
We killed that stuff. Yeah, I've seen it dead.
No, this was a human. This was a human.
What does the predator live in the woods near you?
Yeah. There was a rib cage and yep.
A rib cage, a spine.
Yeah,
a rib cage and a spine still intact in the aqueduct.
Yep.
Wow.
That's Fresno.
LA's drinking water right there. That's
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's why I just drink whiskey. That's much safer.
It's much cleaner than that shit. Really, there's a spot where we go to this place called Mendota, and it is nasty. Like, I don't eat the fish that come out of there. It is. If you jumped off in there, it's probably 4 foot of water and then 10 foot of duck shit that you would be stepping off into. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't eat fish out of there, for one, and it's nasty. And
they're dirty. They taste like you could taste the mud in the fish.
Yes, and
even like
but there's big ass catfish in there, and it's fun to catch them. And there's big striper that do go through there, and it's fun to catch those. Even when I catch the striper in there, I won't eat them, bass or anything. But we were talking about that one day, and we were fishing there during the daytime, and I hear a boat coming, and I'm thinking, dude, this boat's hauling ass, and they come around the corner, like around these lily pads, and there's a guy skiing behind the boat. I was like, oh, hell no. It's like, it would be like going skiing in a sewer pond, man. The water stinks. It's
the pond outside of an apartment complex or something.
Gross.
And Sonny, so you're out there fishing at night, and how are we going to be able to see you? I mean, do you have lights?
I'm taking lights. I'm going to take
okay.
lights.
Nice.
If I have to, I'll take the trailer. I'll do the show from in the trailer.
Do you have a night vision cam or something like that?
I do, right behind me. I got one put up.
Hook that up to the computer or something.
I was going to run it from the phone. I don't have no internet out there.
Are you going out there to fish, or are you going out there to look for UFOs?
I'm going out there to fish and look for you first.
He's got a predator dump site out there. He's looking to see what else he can find.
Well, if we could go to that spot where we seen the flashing lights, if there's a signal at that spot and we can find it again, that would be the spot I'd like to go to. I just don't know how good of a signal is going to be out there, because when you start getting towards the smaller towns out in the country away from the freeway, you lose the Wi-Fi signal.
I think our best bet as far as signal goes will be down by Cattleman, where the aqueduct crosses over. Right there. right behind
I
Kettleman.
don't know. You just got to do a tower search, I guess, because if there's no towers in Kettleman, it ain't gonna work.
Okay,
I was telling him we got to have like
heavily traveled area.
I got to have 5G.
Everybody with the GPS goes through here.
Yep. Well, it's the way to Pismo, so a lot of people got to go through Kettleman. Yeah, like if I was going to go to Spooky's house, that's one of the towns you have to go through to get there. From here is you have to go through this little town, and they have fishing spots. They might have internet there. Or high speed.
Yeah, that's one of the things that keeps me from buying that magical out in the middle of nowhere property I'm always looking for is being stuck out there with no internet. That's a tough one.
Man. Verizon sent me an internet box to try out. I had to send it back. It only worked here sometimes, so I couldn't use it. But holy shit, it was fast when it worked. Guys, it's Verizon wireless internet. It's this little white box, and it's yay big. Turned it on, hooked up to it. It's really easy to do. You just scan the bottom of it to sign into it, and the download speed when I checked it when it was working, when I had a good signal, the download speed on it was 250 something. Like that's what I could get it to go up to, and then the upload speed was 13. 11, 12.9. It was up there too. What we're using right now is 1.6 upload speed with a 19 megabyte download speed.
There's a lot of people that if they can get a good signal, it's better to stream off of their phone, to be honest, than it is trying any kind of conventional internet.
Yep. If I could get that signal.
Well, they do make range extender antennas that you would have to like mount up on your roof and point it towards whatever the nearest tower is, and that'll really pull in the signal.
I asked them if they had anything I could use for Verizon like that, and they said no. There's nothing out.
Oh, that's BS. Look at any of these.
But I'm going to tell them. Enzo said you're full of shit.
I know they are. Look at it. Look up any of like the van life type YouTubers and stuff like that actually work from their van while they're on the road. They've all got some like this external, like a mast antenna that they put up. It's really big. It's like almost like it looks like the end of a boat oar that they wave it around. It's like, okay, there's the tower because it's the strongest signal. And they got great internet while they're out in the middle of nowhere. Me
and Billy need John Madden's old rig, his old motorhome. Remember that? John Madden's with all the TVs.
Because he was afraid to fly. Yeah.
Oh, shucks, Simon.
What's up? What's he saying?
He's trying to flirt.
Oh.
I think it's a good thing that there's a lot of miles that separate Simon and I.
Man. You ever seen a Chihuahua fight a pit bull? Oh, that's a scene from it's one of the parts out of Friday After Next.
So did we ever figure out the new YouTube rules for 2023? I mean, what we can play and what we can't play? Because I'm still as confused as ever.
I'm just gonna do what I want until they kick me off. Then I'll know what.
So we're back to business as usual.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything you want to put up there, Spooky, you feel welcome to. It's okay.
Oh boy, you better.
Hold on
sure
now.
about that?
Hold on.
This is a nighttime show, and we show dirty stuff on here. So.
My smut stuff folder is bursting at the seams.
Oh damn!
You don't have that outlet now since you started doing that on Chad's show. It's getting his channel all butchered up. God, those were fun shows, though. They were hilarious.
Right?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's fun fucking up Chad's channel.
So yeah, I mean, people might be wondering where Chad is. Chad is at work as usual, but the difference now is that he's working longer every shift, mandatory overtime, and he's not getting home till about 1 o'clock in the morning over there in Michigan. So that's pretty late.
Yep, poor Chad.
I mean, can you imagine working all those hours and then driving? You know, it's not like he lives right around the corner from his work. He's still got to drive.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big of a commute he had till you guys told me. I was like, wow, that's yeesh.
Yeah, I mean, this time of year too, I don't think you can be flying down the road because there's, weather.
Snow and
There's-
ice. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Nas, it's nice to see you tonight. Nice to see you in here. It's good to see you.
Oh, I know. I haven't seen Nos in a while.
Nice to see you.
Same. Everybody. Wally.
Everybody's hanging out tonight. This is great.
Yeah, Wally.
Yeah,
was
Walt's
there.
channel, man. Some of the shows you're doing are awesome, man. I love. He brings up Angel Wings. He brings up Jimbo, and the other night we had Nos was on there, and I just love being able to bounce in and out and see people that we haven't seen in a while. Hopefully, everybody's subscribed.
Hope so.
Wally's World 420.
Yeah, he is quite the character list on that show. It's always entertaining.
Mm-hmm. And then was it today I was watching Gorilla Gamer? I think it was this morning. Oh man, that was funny. He's got the fart sounds down, man. I mean the whole yeah, I mean he just drops these farts. I've never heard farts like that before.
Is that from a human? What is
He's
that
not even
sound?
using a soundboard.
Oh yeah, he's got it all programmed. He knows what he's doing. I'm telling you, this
Just do
guy's
it
the
on
fart
command.
master.
He's gonna
Oh.
pregame the show with like a
Who passed
taco
away,
bowl
guys?
or something.
Poor Robbie Knievel passed away, man.
I saw that. That's sad.
Robbie Knievel, is that Evil Knievel's son?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
I shared it on Facebook, and I put on there. I said, "Hey, this was everybody growing up my age wanted to be just like his dad, and Robbie
Yep.
Knievel was the only guy that had the balls enough to try."
So what was the craziest thing that Evil Knievel did? What was the most wild jump that he did?
I
He did a bunch
think
of
when
them.
he tried to jump the goddamn rocket car, when it
Yeah.
'cause
I
it
actually
was straight up off, and then he couldn't get out.
basically crashed into the bottom of the canyon. He was
He was in a car that was like a rocket.
Uh-huh.
It was basically a rocket, and they had like a sled ramp thing that was supposed
It
to.
was like a Lincoln with
Yeah.
a rocket strapped underneath it.
It was supposed to go over top of the Snake River Canyon, which is part of.
That's it.
It's like
Snake
the.
River.
It's like the tail end of the Grand Canyon. So it's not the giant canyon, but it's a smaller one. Still pretty impressive. And I guess they had the angle too steep on it, so when he launched, it just kind of went straight up and kind of floundered a little bit. It was like right in the middle of the canyon. It was not making it, and then it started falling down because of the way it almost went straight up is what it actually ended up being. So the parachute thing in it didn't deploy correctly. It was supposed to, because it was all jacked up, and he got pretty messed up from that one, as I recall.
Oh yeah,
that one. What was he jumped a big fountain in Las Vegas too and crashed into a bunch of barricades. He really got messed
when
up
he
on
landed, there's a video of that one when he lands, and it's all slow motion, and you can just see him like ragdolling as soon as he hits.
Yeah,
He doesn't even hit the ground yet, and
he's just crumples. Yeah,
I know that feeling. He's trying to go limp so he can hit the ground like that, and because he knows he's gonna wreck. I know that feeling.
When I was
every time I see that part, I think, "Oh, that's the spot. That's where he's trying to get tucked into that ball, dude, and he just don't make it."
yeah.
Okay,
When I was
so
a
that's
kid,
the
I had,
craziest. Yeah, go ahead, Enzo. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I had the Evil Knievel stunt bike guy, which you'd put it in this contraption thing that had this crank on it.
You can
And
buy
you'd,
that again now. They just
Are
came
they
out
still
with
make
it.
those? But you would crank it up, which would spin the wheel on the thing, and then you would stop real fast, and it would just launch, and it would rocket out of there. And of course, you'd set up little ramps and stuff for him to jump. It would just always destroy everything. It would just launch out of there so fast.
And then Robbie
Great
Knievel
toy.
jumped some jumps like that too, where I seen him land and his hands came off the handlebars and his face smacked into to the
Yeah,
handlebars.
he
And
headbutted
he
the-
fucked himself up good on that jump.
Did he try to
He was-
outdo his dad's jumps? His dad's?
He would jump farther than his dad, but he was doing it on a CR 500 dirt bike. His dad was doing it on a Harley with a V twin, very
So,
heavy motorcycle. You're not supposed to jump, and he was jumping them.
I don't remember if
Oh,
it was
Robbie
Evil
Knievel,
Knievel. I remember somebody jumped. It was supposed to be two. It was supposed to be two great white sharks, but they weren't great white sharks. In a tank, and during the practice, it was going to be on television. It was going to be a big event because it was around the time that Jaws came out in the 70s. So everything had to have a shark with it. If you had a shark, you were pulling in the ratings, on TV. And during the practice, like a few days before, where he's just jumping over nothing, he messed up on the launch and went off to the side and actually like crashed into the side of the ramp on the landing and jacked himself up. So no show, but they showed that about 5 million times during the live broadcast that they already had scheduled. So,
Jeez.
yeah, those stunt guys would just get messed up so easily. It's like, man, what are you doing? How do you even survive and think, yeah, I'm going to do this again once I heal up in like 2 years?
Billy, he remembers where I lived. We had this walnut orchard, and the rows of the trees that ran this way, right? Well, the back of the orchard, it had 2 rows at the top, is what we called it, the top 2 rows, and they ran opposite direction. And there was a big ass hill that's like 5 feet tall that you have to go up to get to that. Well, I turned that into a jump, and we would jump our bikes off of it, riding into the orchard. And we also had it figured out that we could jump our bikes up. And if we jumped straight up and didn't go out into the orchard, we wouldn't hit the trees. So we were jumping straight up, seeing how high we could jump. And I was riding a 490 Mako, and my buddy was riding his 490 Yamaha. And that's what got us going, was, just see who could outdo each other on these big ass dirt bikes. We're little kids. I think we were in the 8th grade. He jumped, and we would stand there like this. So I would have to jump over him. Like he's standing there like this. This is where he said my tire was. So I'd get off the bike, and then he would show me, and then I would jump, and then he would mark it, and then we would trade. Like I'd come and stand where he's at, and then I'd hold my hand where he was at, and then he would go jump over me, and then I would mark it higher like this. We were getting on my bike, and he had his hand way over his head, and I was like, "You lying fuck! you didn't jump that high, And he's like, "No, I did. You said it was right here," and I jumped that time to beat his. And I hit the branch of a tree and didn't know. I jumped, and I'm looking down at his hand like this. And as soon as I looked forward, a branch just took me out. It shattered the visor on my helmet. And then I fell from there all the way to the ground and landed like shoulders first in my back. Smack. The bike landed and kept going. And it rode all the way through the trees and hit my neighbor's fence.
Sonny Knievel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all wanted to be like Evil Knievel, dude. We wanted to go higher and higher. We went higher and farther until one of us got hurt. It was like that every time.
Till somebody started crying.
Yep. That was the downside of it. Is I remember some guys that their moms wouldn't let them watch that kind of stuff on TV because they didn't want them doing exactly that. And looking back at it as an older person, it's like, they kind of had a point, because we certainly did dangerous shit after seeing some yuts on TV doing the same thing. It's like, oh, I could try to do that myself.
Busy. Till late at night. We did what we did. And as long as we didn't have to call and bug them, it was cool.
Right.
As long as we could take care of everything by going only as far as my older brother. Or for me, sometimes it was his dad. And for him, my mama. As long as it didn't bother our own parents, though.
My Aunt Mickey, when I would get hurt at her house, and I always got hurt bad, too. Like I would need stitches or something. She would get so fucking mad, dude. Oh, the ass whooping was worse than the stitches. It was like, you stupid shit, pow! You don't fucking do that over here.
You haven't gone to the hospital yet. You're still bleeding, and they're beating you up even more.
I have a scar. I got a big old scar that goes along my goatee line right here. That's why I always have a goatee too, because there's a big ass scar that's perfect underneath it. And I was riding a barrel bull that we made. That's a like a drum that they tie ropes to, and then people pull on the ropes, and it's like riding a bull. It's to practice for riding bulls. We had the bright idea to take coil car springs, right? I cut the ropes in the center because they're tied to these big imposts that are buried in the ground. And then we tied in between on each corner of these things, it was tied to a car spring, a coiled up car spring. So when you pulled on it, it turned it into a trampoline. It wasn't a fucking barrel bull, no. And we were riding that thing, Enzo, and it threw me off of the air, and I came down face first, and the barrel was going down, and when it came back up, it hit me right in the face, dude.
The seam of the fucking barrel.
And it stood me on my feet, so I was falling head first, but when it hit me in the face, it just stood me up on my feet.
In my head, as you were describing that, I'm hearing the Mario from like Donkey Kong kind of a thing. It's like, oh, you lost a life on that.
He got Mr. Luigi. So yeah, I went in the house. Well, first I told him no, I was okay, and it was just a little tiny bit of blood. And then I got back up on that barrel, and when I went, okay, do it again, my cousin Donnie, his older brother, goes, and I go, why? He goes, your chin bone's sticking out of your face. I said, what? And I felt the barrel hole. I was like, son of a bitch. I went and looked in the house, and as soon as I tilted my head back like this to look in the mirror, I could see my bone in there, and I was like, oh no,
holy crap.
It's gonna kill me. And then I go to get stitched up. She has to take me because my parents were out of state, and I was only 17 at the time. So she had to take me. And she's in there while they're stitching me up. I tell the doctor that that's not going to hold because I've had a lot of stitches. I tell him those are too thin, and
you're giving him advice.
He goes, no, it'll leave less of a scar. The more stitches you get, the less of a scar you're going to have. So he's telling me that, and he's stitching me up, and then he's also telling me jokes to like take my mind off of it because he's stitching my face, and I started laughing, and when I laughed, I felt the stitches go ding, 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 ding. They ripped through my fucking face. The stitches didn't break. They were too thin, and they cut through the fucking what he was sewing up. So he had to redo it. And when that happened, my aunt smacked me again. Pow! She told me, you quit laughing. I said, he's making me laugh. Sit there, hold still. His mom, she's no joke.
Of course, you're laughing. You're already at stitches.
So. You up. If you get hurt and scare her, you're getting your ass whooped, dude.
She'll kick your ass too, buddy. Just sew them up. Man,
yeah,
that is bananas. Yeah,
she loves me more than anything. Don't get me wrong, but don't make her mad. Don't scare her.
Yeah, she definitely gets mean when she needs to.
Beating on me while I was getting stitches, though. I was like, God damn, that's a new one.
Yeah, that's a whole new level there. That's a whole new level of love.
Oh, man. Yeah, I remember that. She was so pissed off because I busted my face open. Instead of saying, like, oh, you'll be okay, she was like, wait till we get back. You're going to need more stitches by the time we get there.
Man. Yeah, it was... do kids even do that kind of stuff anymore? Running around out in the woods and jumping bikes over trees and shrubbery and everything else?
Not too many of them. There is some kids out there that still go out and have fun, but they're far and few in between.
It's before they've gotten their cell phone.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like we were outside constantly. We had video games, but don't get me wrong, dude. We've stayed up 2 days straight playing fucking video games. We'll do that now. I mean, so it's not that. It's just we have other interests. than just playing. If we play video games, it's probably because it was fucking raining or too cold outside.
Exactly. I remember begging my parents to get an Atari 2600.
Oh, man. I got one. I got a stolen one for Christmas when I was like
a
8.
stolen one.
I know it was stolen. It came in a box with a bunch of games.
Little scratch right here on the serial number. Don't pay attention to that.
It was when they first came out too. So
I remember Michael gave me his.
Michael from next door.
Yep.
Oh man, he used to have a sticker in his window of his car that said
he started getting laid and gave me his video games.
Michael did.
Oh, pretty much.
Yep. He had a sticker in the window of his car when we were kids, dude. And I used to think it was the coolest thing. It said, "Heaven don't want me, and hell thinks I'll take over." He was a pretty cool cat. So was his sister.
They still are.
Yep. And his dad, his dad's name was Nevis. We used to call him Nevis Presley because he looked just like Elvis Presley. Them big old sideburns.
That was the fashion back then, though. I remember a bunch of my uncles when I was a kid that had the big old pork chops.
Big old sideburns, the pointy collared Western type shirts.
Yeah, with a collar that came out to about here.
The real pointy boots.
Yep, that's the step on those spiders in the corner.
That guy Michael he's talking about, he liked dirt bikes too. His name was, I don't want to give his last name, but yeah, his name's Mike, and him and my cousin Donnie built this go-kart. They took a dirt bike motor out of Mike's dirt bike. He had a 125 two-stroke dirt bike, and they took that motor out. Donnie welded up a go-kart. It was pretty big and heavy, and it worked really well in the sand. It had big old sand tires on it. It's almost like a damn Odyssey, but it was a go-kart. It was just a big one. They had a throttle was on the shifter, and the shifter was down here, so you know it's one up and all down, but your throttle was right there. And I don't remember where his clutch was, but I remember him revving that thing up, ring, 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 and he popped the clutch on it to take off, and the chain broke. And that was in front of me and Billy. This fucking chain whipped off of this bike, dude. Like, because he's sitting, the motor's right behind him. The chain whips around like this, and you just see it smack him across the chest, and it's still running. So then it rips it off his chest like a fucking chainsaw. Oh my God. He looked like it hurts.
Jeez.
I've never seen Mike cry until that day. Like, that was the toughest son of a bitch ever, but he cried with that chain.
Wow. That thing had it out for him. That's the worst luck ever.
Beat him with that chain. He
did get beaten by that chain.
Dude, I just remember like seeing it hit him and then thinking, oh, it was over, but all that slack got sucked up in that gear and then it just ripped.
Oh my God.
It was horrible.
That's
dude.
terrific.
It was bad.
He's like, screw you, Evil Knievel. My bike is kicking my own ass. I don't even need to jump.
He could have broke it just in front of that sprocket, and that wouldn't have happened. But he broke it just to the right spot. It was enough for the whole chain to run through the motor.
Drag the whole thing. Holy
smack him and rip it off.
What are the odds? Man, that's some bad luck right there.
And he was a skinny little kid, too. He was a skinny little dude, man, and it fucked him up.
Yeesh.
Him and my cousin Donnie, dude, that's one of my favorite stories. The first time I remember Donnie getting his ass beat good was he was like 14, and Mike got him like some weed for his birthday, and it was a birthday party at the house. So these fucking idiots went outside under the cooler and started smoking weed. And the cooler was blowing the weed inside the house. You remember that?
They did that shit on purpose.
Yeah, that's what he said. Donnie said, we try and get the whole house high. Yeah, right. You got your ass kicked. Oh, that shit's funny. That's what Donnie said, too. They're trying to get the whole house high.
They talked about it before they went and did it.
Those dumb shits. Yeah, and they were young. That's young to me. I didn't smoke weed till I was fucking old already. I'm making up for it though.
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say you're caught up. I think.
I've only been smoking about 10 years. I didn't smoke weed before that. I didn't smoke weed in high school.
Yeah,
In high school, I did school stuff and played football.
Man, when you guys talk like that, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're from the same state.
Hey, I never ditched a day of school in my life. Like
What?
No, I wasn't going to school. Yeah, I never did that. Not once.
Man, there's a
Never?
big difference in Central
Never.
and Southern California.
I never once told my parents, "Bye, I'm going to school," and then did not go to school. No fucking way, dude.
Yeah, we were
where you-
bad.
I cut out of school, but our parents knew.
Yeah. Like if we did ditch, I told my dad, "Hey, it's senior ditch day," or "Hey, we're gonna go to the mountains today. You know, we're not going to school." So if the school calls, tell them I'm sick. You know, that kind of shit. But we didn't just go somewhere and not tell our parents where we were going.
I remember as a kid, I was like in the second or third grade. We had a math test or something that day, which I was totally unprepared for and did not want to take. So I was like, oh, I'll pretend to be sick. But I had already pretended to be sick like a few weeks before. And I was like, oh, I can't do that again. So I knew that my mother went on it was like Thursdays or something like that. She would go to the grocery store and be gone for like a chunk of that because she'd always do other shopping and stuff like that. So she was out of the house most of the day. So I went and hid in my closet until she just assumed I went to school, and I sat around and I listened for the garage to open and close and the car to start and leave. And then I got up and watched Price is Right and shit like that on TV for a little while. I was like, yeah, she's probably going to be back soon. So I just hung out in my room, closed the door and was being super quiet, reading books and comic books and shit because I just I didn't realize the school would call to ask where you were at that age. It's oh, well, I didn't know. I just didn't feel good. So I just stayed home. Mom, you didn't notice me in bed right there?
Both of my
No.
parents worked. I could have stayed home every day if I wanted to. And I would have just had one more ass whooping. This lady that freaked out when he hurt himself freaked out on me pretty much every day. But I also did a lot of stupid shit. You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
Yeah, but Sonny and Billy, I mean, come on now. We're from California, all right?
Yeah, but I had cool
Now.
ass parents. They would just let me do what I wanted. As
How
long as I
about your
told the
friends,
truth.
man? How about your homies? You're telling me
Oh,
they
they
weren't
ditched.
trying to.
Them motherfuckers ditched all the time. They didn't have parents like mine. They actually got in trouble, and I didn't.
Our parents would let us do stupid stuff to a certain point and then be like, you're getting out of line. And if we got in trouble by somebody else for some stupid shit, then we were in big trouble.
Like if you were a
Because we knew
teenager
better.
and you wanted to drink, my dad would go get you a keg, but you couldn't leave the house. If you were going to drink, he took your car keys. You either called your parents and told them you drank, or you stayed the night until you weren't drunk no more, and then you could go home the next day. That's how he was, dude. Deanna's seen a video, which you guys will never see because he's on there and he won't let me show that video. I have it too. But there's in that video she sees a truck parked in the back and there's 2 kegs in it and it's my high school graduation party and she sees just kids there and she goes, how the fuck do your parents not see the kegs? And I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, those 2 beer kegs in the video, how did they not see? I go, that's my dad's truck. He went and bought those for us.
I didn't know everybody's family wasn't like that.
Me neither. I thought if you just told the truth and you were a good fucking kid that you got to do what you wanted. So yeah, when you had to hide Spooky and do that stuff, you were ditching school and badass kid, smoking weed.
There was a time when my parents were breaking up and they sent me and my brother to go stay with family. And that's where I spent some of my early years in Los Angeles. And I mean, they didn't live in the greatest neighborhood, right? So some of my friends around the high school and junior high school time, maybe some of them might have been a bad influence. But that is when I got named Spooky.
Oh,
I got in trouble one time in school, after school, to where like I had to couldn't come back to school. Like I got suspended for a day or so. Well, I got suspended until I told my parents. and yeah, that was like after school though. I was in a classroom and got in trouble in drama. It was drama class, after school drama fucking class thing. And I got in trouble there. Yeah.
drama in the drama class? How could that happen?
Huh?
Drama in the drama class? How could that happen?
Drama in the drama class. Me and a girl got in trouble in drama class.
Oh, that kind of drama.
We're not supposed to do, yeah. We weren't doing what we were supposed to be doing, and we got...
It's not a biology class, sir.
It was that day. Jenny. Oh. Yeah, that was I was young. That was when I was fuck, I don't even know. Freshman, probably. Sophomore. It didn't take me long to learn don't get in trouble in school. Don't be doing shit at school at all that you're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah, you usually got to learn that the hard way.
Yeah. Drama class was fun. I took that all 4 years of high school.
Oh, wow.
Really?
If I took drama, they let me out of English courses.
So would you like do plays and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What were you were just, did you have like a leading role, or what plays were you in, or?
Shit, I can't even remember the plays. Our drama teacher would write the plays. We didn't do anything like
Oh,
it was
wow.
known. But yeah. Yeah.
I could see Sonny playing the greasers in Grease. One of the
For some
Thunderbirds.
reason, I could remember, like, when I read something, guys, I can't remember it. Okay. But I would watch everyone like do their lines. And then when I would do my lines, I'd remember my lines, but I also remembered theirs. So I remembered everybody's fucking lines. It didn't matter if it was a girl or a guy. And then sometimes I'd have to play two parts. I had to do it once. Right? I think I played a girl and a guy. And I was...
Oh, please tell me you have video of that.
No. You're going to see me on video. Back then. That was fun. I got to be in the girls' locker room for that one because I had to keep changing clothes. And the girls would get me dressed. And we were all naked at the same time. We were all in our underwear. And the teacher it was so funny because they're like, you can't do that. I was like, well, how the fuck are we supposed to change clothes? They got to put this shit on me.
Wow,
naked? It's okay. I'm prepping for the girl part. Right. Yeah.
Our high school is different. You remember Nikki? That one. I can't. Uh-huh. One of the loud girls from our school.
The loud girls. Oh, private convo. Look at that. Secrets being told.
Yeah. I was just telling him who it was. The girls that were in there.
Oh.
It was so funny, dude, to see that teacher walk in there. Because those girls were naked. Like, they got dressed, and then I was getting dressed. I had, like, boxers on. I wasn't naked. They're putting my clothes off, and then she's screaming at me, you can't be in here with your clothes off. And I was wanting to tell her, these girls are just butt-ass naked.
I'm the most dressed person here.
Yeah.
Get off of me. So did you think you were going to be like a big Hollywood star, be a big actor and all that?
No, not an actor. A comedian, most likely.
Hey, Sonny, did you ever come up with a routine for your stand-up?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just never did stand-up like in school or anything. I didn't do that. Just acting. Just getting you out on the stage type stuff, so I'm not embarrassed anymore. Because I was shy back then. I think that's how I got stuck in drama. I didn't do a lot of talking or something my freshman year, so they stuck me in there. I didn't like to read in front of the class because I didn't know, but I'm dyslexic. And so I can't read out loud. I can read to myself. Then I still can't remember what I read. I have to read it like 3 or 4 times, one paragraph 3 or 4 times before I can go to the next. So I retain the information.
That shit used to come easy for me.
Or if I read it out loud and recorded myself and then went back and listened to it, just had to do it that once. Just had to hear it, and then that was it. I just can't.
Some people in the chat think you should do some stand-up.
Oh, that ship done sailed, guys. I'm too old for that mess now. Instead of doing stand-up, I did a lot of laying down, and I had all them kids.
Yeah, who you laying with?
What will happen when you lay down?
Deanna, you see all them daughters she done spit out for me? I met Deanna when I was young, guys, just out of high school.
Little Woodford Reserve on my side.
That's good stuff.
I'd like to have myself a nice cocktail tonight.
I'm having a snap.
But all I have is water.
Yeah. We got it pretty warm in here because it's 43 outside and I ain't cold. This little heater's
No
working.
garage fires this year so far?
I ran out of alcohol already. Yeah, I already went through 2 bottles of rubbing alcohol.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, we're actually supposed to get a chance of snow tomorrow here.
It's fucking cold out here tonight, dude. It's like I said, we want to do a fishing one. We'll go find a spot. Maybe this week. We'll drive around this week. We'll go to Mendota. We'll go to that spot where I seen the lights flashing at us. Because if we get back out there, that's by the Naval Air Base. So that might have a signal. That was one thing that I kept telling everybody, you know, like when we seen those flashing lights, we were by a Naval Air Base. It's just, they didn't make no noise. There was no, it was so strange, guys. Just a fucking bar of light in the sky. And it turn on and turn off. It did it. Yeah. When it did it in front of Billy, finally, because it did it beside him, and then like a half hour went by, we weren't even talking about it no more because he thought I took a picture of him. And then finally, when it did it in front of both of us, dude, I was so happy because I was feeling crazy there for a minute, Enzo. Like, what did I see? You know, like, what the fuck with a big old bar of light? Yeah, but when Billy seen it too, it made it a lot easier for me. I told him, that's what the fuck I seen. That's what I was trying to tell you.
That's got to be so rewarding when someone else sees what you saw.
Yeah, that was like that night I seen that plane or whatever that thing is, that bomber thing flying over the house, made no sound. And my neighbor was outside across the street too. When I went and got my daughter, he was out there the whole time. He doesn't speak English, so we spoke as good as we could to each other about it, and both of us were just saying, "What the fuck is that?" Basically, he's saying it in Spanish, and I'm saying it in English, and yeah. So yeah, it felt good to have a neighbor see it too.
It's 69. Imagine that.
That's a good setting, Cass.
Heaters on 69.
Oh, Wally's World. Having a little Woodford Reserve Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
I got a big ass bottle of Grey Goose back there.
Ooh, there it is.
I haven't been
Woodford
drinking.
Reserve.
I think the last time I drank is when the boys were doing fucking Topless Tuesdays, and we were getting on here having drinks, watching their shows.
You didn't even have a drink on New Year's Eve?
Nuh-uh.
Wow.
Too much, man. I only like certain drinks, and one of them is Bloody Marys. I like to drink that shit in the morning, and that's always bad. Because then I'll drink it all day long. And
That's about the only time I'll drink. That's about the only time I'll drink tomato juice. Is because I hate tomato juice, but Bloody Mary, that's okay. That's passable.
What's Sunsaver say here? I've been having some UAP
A chip out of the reading glasses. Wow.
You been seeing stuff, Sunsaver? Is that what's going on? A chip out of the. Cass is talking about her heating problems, and it keeps her bill down at 69. They charge you more for 70.
No, that's the big thing over here in California is how expensive the electricity and the natural gas is now. Everything's going up.
Yep.
Like our bills and electrical and gas are like doubled what they were.
Oof.
But they gave everybody $600.
Hey,
Yeah, but
2 years
the
ago.
worst part is we can't get any eggs.
have you ever bought a bottle of this? This is just nose spray, Afrin nose spray.
Oh, I was just talking about that nose spray tonight.
Okay, check this out, Enzo. I went and got a bottle of that nose spray right there from Walgreens in Selma. It was $18 for one bottle.
Holy shit.
I wasn't at a gas station. I went to a pharmacy. It was $18 for one bottle.
Holy
So it wasn't like I pulled over at
shit.
some gas station and had to run in and grab them. I've done that before. They're like $10. But yeah,
Yeah.
it went up so much that's how much it is. $18 for a bottle of nose
Oh
spray.
my
It used
god.
to be $6, $5, $6. I was like, what the fuck? I'm not buying a case of it. I just want this one. The lady's like, that's
There
how
you
much
go,
it costs.
Carol.
Holy fuck.
Holy
Carol's
shit.
going to hide a chicken in her basement and sell the eggs. I think that's brilliant.
I think they
They're
just marked
all
the
the
prices
golden
up
eggs.
because people are having bad allergies here right now.
What would
And
you
they
rather
need
there
it.
be a shortage of, eggs or toilet paper?
Toilet paper.
I agree.
I'll use the 3 seashells.
Why is there a shortage
Use
on
the
eggs?
3 seashells.
I'm not sure I understand that joke.
Oh, it's a movie with Wesley Snipes and who else was in it? Is it I think it's Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone. It's Demolition Man. Is the name of
Yes,
the movie.
and that's the whole thing
Ooh.
is they get cryonically or whatever it is frozen, and then they get brought back in the future, and there's no toilet paper, and they got to wipe their ass with the 3 seashells. And through the whole movie, they keep asking about it, but no one really ever knows how to wipe their
Yeah,
ass.
they don't explain how the 3 seashells
Yeah.
work.
So yeah, I tell everybody that's how I wipe my ass because you got to be really smart for some reason to know how to wipe your ass with these 3 seashells. And it's 3 seashells, Spooky.
This house here has that fancy toilet.
Bidet?
Yeah,
got
you
a
don't
bidet?
need any of that paper.
Does it blow dry your ass dry too?
I don't want to say all the stuff it does. I mean, that's too personal.
Came with a little Asian lady in there that just blows on your neck when you're done.
Just
Who said it was a lady?
As a guy, don't push the button for the tampon remover. That could be very bad.
Fucking jerk your Peter right off. Or the tampon inserter. You don't want to hit that one either.
That could also be bad. Yes.
I never tried a bidet before. I need to
Oh,
bidet-
it's like being reborn, man.
I need to bidet with one of these bidets.
Dude, first time I went to Europe to Germany and saw those toilets, I said, "What in the hell?" I'm not
Why
using
is there
that
2
thing.
toilets in here?
That was very weird.
That toilet peed back on me.
This toilet stopped up, but this one works fine. Something's going on here.
Oh my God, Simon. Let's show the fella some love so Spooky can blow dry that booty.
Oh man.
There you go.
Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna say
Awesome.
the truth, guys. I don't even know if my coffee thing works anymore.
Come on, Sonny. What kind of program is this, man?
I try to open it, and then we got a donation, and I had to go. I can't remember who it was now. It was a while ago. It's been a while, but it didn't come up until like the next day. I'm like, what the fuck? I wanted to show it now during the show so I could thank these people, and I don't know if it was just that time that it's messed up, but lately I've been trying to sign into it, and I can't even open the damn thing anymore. I can only do it on my phone. Every time I open
you secretly
mine,
hope because it's so packed full of money that you can't even open it.
no, because that's how I find out is if I get a donation, I'll get an email. But that's how it didn't give it to me till the next day.
You know who I bet is not sweating it about toilet paper shortage? Matt from Second Star Survival. Shoot. You think he cares about that?
He'll wipe his ass with tree bark.
Humans have been wiping their ass with other stuff before toilet paper was created.
Yep.
So.
Well, we've really hit the bottom of the barrel with the topics for the show, man.
I know.
Sorry I brought it up.
Literally. Shit removal. That's the bottom, yeah.
Good job.
I've seen worse shows. Yep, I still can't get in that son of a buck.
You can't get in.
I
Is it
get
just
in
your
there, but
password doesn't work, or it doesn't even get to that stage?
I'm in there. It just I don't think. I think maybe it's because I canceled.
Whoa.
I canceled all the
Cass.
subscription things. We don't have subscriptions no more.
Cass was searching for the biggest cucumber for her salad because she wanted a big one, enough for 3 salads. Everybody at the grocery was walking by laughing at her. Cass was like, what?
Perhaps you should try the zucchini aisle, ma'am.
At least it wasn't eggplant.
Well.
I know how to do it now. I remembered. You son of a... Oh, it took me to the same place.
Come on, Sonny.
I'm trying. It's always fucking with me.
It's 2023, man. Come on. Get your technology under control, I say, as I drop my vape
a bunch
pen
of
on the
changes. Apparently, I missed out on them. New and improved my ass. You just made it harder to work.
New features that we will not explain. Good luck navigating. Yeah, I love that when they do that. My OBS before the show was like, would you like to download it? No.
That's what it is. It shows me all the followers. It just doesn't show me anything else. Shows me Lee's page because I follow First Floor Audio. Huh. I'll figure it out on here. It's just pissing me off.
Sometimes on my Twitter, I save some things because I want to show Enzo. I wonder if you've ever seen that.
And this is a real photo?
Yeah, apparently this is from NASA. A tabular iceberg can be seen on the right, floating among sea ice just off of the Larsen Sea ice shelf. The iceberg's sharp angles and flat surface indicate that it probably recently calved from the ice shelf.
Yeah, calved means it's separated from the main part and just kind of floated away.
But look at the angles.
Yeah, that's some pretty awesome right angles. That's unusual, I think.
And how perfectly flat.
Well, the perfectly flat part I could actually kind of understand if it's a sheet that's just been sitting there for a long, thousands of years probably. And then it just kind of breaks off finally. That certainly, I mean, it's from a NASA site, so I guess you can't say that it's a BS photo, but yeah, that's pretty weird.
Yeah, somebody tried to put it on Twitter and say that it was recent, but then it was corrected that it had come from actually 2018. I thought that was interesting.
That's pretty wild. And that's down in Antarctica, right?
Let me see.
From what they described, 'cause you don't have.
Yes,
they never
yes.
name the shells. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that there's underwater, like volcanic activity that goes on down there, which also adds to like the heated circulation of water and stuff like that. Not to get off on a global warming thing, we won't get into that, but there are other issues that go on down on that end of the world.
Well, Mr. Chad Smith is in the chat room. It's nice to see you, Chad, and yes, we do miss you very much, man. We
What's up, Chad? I'm trying to put all his hellos up here.
It kills me that he has to be stuck in that plant while we're over here having fun.
I know.
That's
when
not
he's
fun.
not here, you get me.
We're faking it. We're faking the enjoyment.
The worst part is they take both our guys. They take Chad and Jake. We can't have either one of them.
The dynamic duo.
I know.
Have them both.
A
matched pair.
There's this one guy on Twitter that he all he does is shows the different mounds, ancient for all the ancient mounds around United States. And that's what I was thinking, is that it would be cool to do a show where all we do is just highlight the different mounds, because I think there's thousands. Yeah,
easily.
And I think that we haven't heard about them for the most part. I mean, of course we know the Serpent Mound in Ohio, but there's so many other ones. I know one time Alien Girl, she went on a trip and she saw one. I think it was in Missouri.
Yeah, I remember that one. That one actually looks a little similar to that one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, it's just a mound of
Miamisburg.
dirt. Miamisburg, Ohio. Yeah, I grew up kind of in that Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia area. There's a lot of weeds. We had mounds in where I grew up in eastern Kentucky too, and they had a park built out. I remember running up and down of them and just acting crazy as a kid, not realizing that there might be something under there, even if it's just a skeleton, even if it's just a burial thing or whatever. No, we're just running around there as kids, not even thinking about it.
Oh, it's 11:11 for Carol.
Oh, same here. 11:11. Central Time Zone. 11:11.
It's 9:11 here.
Never forget.
Yep. Forget what? Where? Ooh.
And how about this one, Enzo? Have you seen this one? Do you know what I'm about to show you?
No, I don't know what this is.
That looks like electric. Crazy place. What the hell is that?
Tanks of viscous liquid.
That is water and cooling oil. Wires are running over into this control
What
building.
the hell?
If this is a military facility, it's one with a highly unusual purpose.
If you get a good look at these towers, they appear to be like weird high voltage equipment.
These installations have a very eerie similarity to Tesla coils. But why would they be built out in the middle of nowhere in Russia?
Oh, this is in Russia?
Because it's dangerous to build them next to people.
Wires are running over.
I'd be scared to walk over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that did look
Towers
like
sit on
cooling
top
fluid.
of giant tanks of viscous liquid.
That is water and cooling oil.
And that big old tower right
Wires
there.
running over into this control building.
That's nuts.
If this is a military facility, it's one with a highly unusual purpose.
If you get a good look at these towers, they appear to be like weird high voltage equipment.
These
That's a lot of juice running through
installations
those.
have a very eerie similarity to Tesla coils. But why
That's
would
just
they
a
be built
Verizon
out in the
cell
middle
phone
of
tower.
nowhere in Russia?
You can get a good signal, but you can't fish there.
Look at
Right.
this guy here.
Wow, that's pretty. I don't know what that was. I have no idea what
Yeah.
that was. But if
I
I was
don't
in
either.
Russia, there's no telling. Man, they got up to some wild hijinks over there during the Cold War,
Mhm.
trying to come up with some wacky super weapon that would be better than anything the U.S. would get. Honestly, they would actually build a lot of stuff that was fake. Because our satellites would like spy on some of their bases and stuff like, and they were doing the same to
Maybe-
ours.
Maybe that was some of the papers that were stolen from Tesla when he got killed or when he died, I guess. Remember they
I
ransacked
don't
his
know.
room and all his stuff was missing?
Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
There you go.
That's the tale.
You got some instructions. You can make one of those.
You know, because it's so wacky. Because his idea for the thing he was working on not that long before he passed away was that wireless power idea. It wasn't really that wireless because he built a couple of those towers like out on Long Island and stuff like that. And basically what it was is he was shunting all the energy into the ground. So you basically just, instead of, plugging into the wall where you had miles and miles of wire running all over the place, everything went to ground. So you just needed to plug a cable into the ground kind of a thing. And that's where your energy came from, which is a problem when you get stuff like rain saturation and stuff like that. You're asking for a lot of problems with it just being basically where instead of everything being neutral as it would normally be now, that everything's to ground. It would work for sure, but everything would be super energized all the time. And I think a lot of accidents would happen. Honestly, I kind of feel that he was kind of going after the idea of like a Carrington event type of thing. Because he would have been of an age where he was familiar with that as a kid or as a young man, actually. Been familiar with that when it happened. I think he was probably trying to recreate that to harness that energy somehow is just my idea. Of
Could
probably
you-
what
could
he
you
started.
The Carrington event. I'm not really sure about that.
The Carrington event is the Carrington event in the. I'd have to look it up for the exact year, but it was like 1854 or something like the mid 1800s. There was a massive outburst from the sun, a solar prominence, a solar flare that was aimed directly at the Earth because their astronomers were looking at the sun in England, and they saw just the whole thing got really bright, super flash. Yeah, there you go. And it affected the entire planet. Where Aurora Borealis seen as far south as like Colorado. There's reports in Denver of people being able to read a newspaper outside the aurora overhead. Was so bright. Reports out of a lot of the northern tier type areas, heavy problems there. Like there were stories. I think it was either Scotland or Ireland where the railroad tracks, the timbers underneath were catching on fire and stuff. Basically, any long stretch of a conductive metal like wire or train tracks, things like that. These energies from the sun, because it's charged. The same thing like the Aurora Borealis, which it's charged particles that come out from the sun. It hits our magnetosphere. We've all done that science thing in class in some school level where you have the bar magnet, you put the piece of paper on it, you put the iron filings, you could see the lines of force on the magnet. The Earth works the same way. It has that magnetosphere that covers the entire planet. which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. And these charged particles, the positive goes to one end, the negatives go to the other. Yeah, it ended up frying the internet of the day, which was just telegraphs, which, let's be honest, is very, very simple. It's long, stretched out pieces of wire amongst towns. And especially like in the West, in the United States, they would use the actual train tracks themselves that would adjoin towns, where they'd put little bridge wires between each link in the train track. And they were just using the track as the conductor for it, sending an electric pulse through a battery thing on one end. They'd get the, Morse code on the other end, kind of a thing. That's super simple, super easy to make and reproduce. A lot of them across the entire planet got fried out. Tales from Maine of the energies were so intense, pouring in through the atmosphere, passing through the magnetosphere onto the ground level during the Carrington event, that it was actually melting insulation off of wiring and stuff like that. People get, workers that were working on as a telegraph operator would get shocked, like, get burned, and the whole thing, the thing's bursting into flames. It was intense. Basically, for us today, to relate it, it was basically like an electromagnetic pulse, which we hear about from like nuclear weapons. When it goes off, it shorts out all the electronics. Same exact thing. It's actually literally what it is an electromagnetic pulse. And
solar flare.
Yep,
strong.
That's
what
strong.
I mean, like a solar flare from the sun back then would affect that wire that bad. Like I could see it affecting this computer, but not what they were. This is basically a wire and a battery.
Well, and it's the wire part. It's acting like a giant antenna. The longer it is, the more it's going to absorb, and then that energy's got to go somewhere. It's going to ground out on one end of that wire or the other.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I guess I don't understand that solar flare stuff. I guess. Yeah, but that, like I said, it was just like a hot wire that they tapped
right.
on.
They literally had a battery. They're sending
maybe you were
electrical
going to say it got hit by lightning or something at the end.
Honestly, this would have been worse than lightning. This was way worse because it happens everywhere all at the same time.
Huh.
Across the whole planet. It's it was pretty grotesque. If that were to happen today, it would be pandemonium. You'd have stuff going berserk all over. Now, there have been a lot of things that have been done to safeguard, like central power points and stuff like that. Your car might get fried. Your cell phone might get nuked, something like that. But the whole grid-wise, it's self-isolated in a lot of places now, which only actually came up just several years ago. That they put a thing in where, okay, each thing will basically have like a giant circuit breaker, like each substation kind of a thing. So if it gets this giant surge from an electromagnetic pulse from a nuke, or a similar type thing like the Carrington event, which is basically the same thing, a burst from the sun, it'll happen the same way. There was an event in the I want to say it was late 80s in Canada, where it was the same thing. Heavy solar disruption, and it just happened to be the conditions were just perfect. Yeah, our sun has been going crazy like the last year. Look at that. Now, you see, if you look right in the middle, you see the little circle right in the middle? That's the Earth. That's the size of the Earth compared to the sun. So you see that filament that bursts out, blam, right there?
Uh-huh.
That's 100 times larger than the planet that we're sitting on right now.
So we're a little lucky that that's not being aimed at us.
Right. Because basically our sun goes through cycles where it has fits like this about every 8 to 11 years, which we're in the middle of one right now, where it's very active. It's spitting out stuff like that all the time. It's basically like someone on a merry-go-round with a shotgun, and they're just randomly shooting as they're spinning around. Sometimes it's aimed towards us. Sometimes it's, most of the time it's aimed away from us, kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. But for a big one, that's a direct hit. That's what the Carrington event was in the 1800s.
Jeez.
Fortunately, our technology wasn't that big of a deal back then, where we were easily recovered from it. It was an inconvenience for a series of weeks.
Right here, you can see it. That was like a crust that blew off.
Yeah. What it is there's like magnetic hot spots that form, because you can see that like glowing part right in the very middle above where it says Earth scale, where you can sort of see those lines of force that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Where you've got multiple like north-south poles basically forming across the surface of the sun, and the energies are jumping between the two, and sometimes they get so big where they actually get blown off of the surface.
Wow.
And get
should be
thrown off.
humbling.
It is. It's bananas when you know that this little dot right in the very center of that picture, inside of the box. It's not even the box. It's just this tiny circle inside of that box is the Earth. That's the size of the Earth compared to our sun. That we're kind of in a shooting gallery. It's not one of those things that anybody can do anything about. So I wouldn't, don't lose a ton of sleep over it. But it is something that could occur.
Pretty good 8-second video there. I wish there was more of it.
Yeah. But I think Tesla was probably thinking of like the same idea to recreate it with his wireless power idea to kind of do something similar to that. And it just didn't work out. Running everything through the dirt is I get what he was trying to do, but there's a lot of issues with that in the long run. It would work for sure, but anytime you'd start digging anything, you'd have issues, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, brilliant guy. I mean, that he created alternating current. That's why we have alternating current. That was the big beef back in the day between him and Edison. Edison was a direct current guy.
Much simpler.
It is a lot simpler.
It really is.
Which Edison and those guys would like badmouth all. Oh, it's that alternating current. It's super dangerous. Look what happens when you apply alternating current to an elephant. They electrocuted a live elephant in front of a crowd of people to show how dangerous alternating current is.
Yep.
I thought that was to show that the direct current would kill an elephant too, and they did it with DC.
No, it was the opposite. He used AC on it to show how dangerous. DC would do the same thing if you're cranking up some juice through it.
Yeah, you put enough amps to it, it'll fuck you up.
Yeah, exactly. But that's one of those propaganda type things that Edison was. He wasn't even that big of an inventor. He was more of he ran the company that had a bunch of inventors that he worked for is basically how it was.
So he was a businessman.
Yeah, he was more of a businessman than an actual inventor kind of a guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, and he would play dirty if he needed to. He was actually kind of a jerk.
Yeah, I watched a movie where they highlighted that
there you go.
The differences between Edison and Tesla, and it was not a very good movie. I thought it was quite boring, but it was interesting just to see that the way it was portrayed. That I had always thought, oh, Thomas Edison, he's like American hero. Not as much as I think we've been led to believe.
I mean, don't get me wrong; he was an intelligent guy, and I think he had a larger hand in some of the major inventions that he was dealing with, but he had specialized people that would work on different things that then he would be like, look at what
Take
my
the credit
company
for
did.
it.
Well, it was me really, but that kind of thing. But yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
Billy's bouncing.
Oh, okay.
I'll see you next time.
Papa Willie, it was great to
Papa
have you with us,
Willie.
man. Take care, man.
Yep. He's headed to the bar, I think. Is that where you
Ooh.
Vine?
Shooting some pool.
Yep. You're going to play some pool with the Vine.
Nice.
Nice.
Great Vine. Hey, tell him I said put the show on over there. when you get there. Randy can put it up on YouTube, I think, on the TVs. Oh fuck, man! My dog's barking.
Dogs are going crazy.
You guys watch the show for a minute. I'll be right back.
We got it. We got it.
Yeah, Sonny.
Dogs gone wild.
How about you,
That's
Enzo?
fun,
Have
though.
you seen anything good lately? Any new shows or?
Not really. I watched the latest 411 by Dave Paulides, where UFO 411 or whatever he calls it. I generally enjoyed it about as much as I did all the other 411 shows. I like the shows. I didn't see where he was making a lot of direct correlations between specific people going missing and blaming it on a UFO. It was like, this person went missing in this area. Oh, and there were also UFOs reported in this area. He did have the amazing story about the one UFO carrying off an elk, which was pretty wild in there. Stuff like that. It was a good show. I felt there could have been a little more. I mean, obviously, you can't draw a direct connection to anything like that when somebody just disappears. But I was expecting a touch more.
But the story about the elk, did he have witnesses' testimony or?
Yes, it was. There were several workers out. I can't remember if I think they were planting trees in an area. I want to say it was Montana. I'm probably getting that wrong. It was somewhere out west for sure. And they saw basically a disc and an adult elk basically hovering like right below it, like it was tethered to it, but there was no line connected to it, carrying it off, and it was kind of kicking as it went, kind of a thing, kind of hopped over a ridge line, and they went across the ridge line later and found like butchered remains, kind of a thing of an elk in that area, kind of a deal. But it was not an airplane, it was not a helicopter, it was a disc, kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is a helicopter. Wow.
But a lot of people go missing. A lot of people go missing all over if you follow the 411 series, which I know some of them are free, like on Tubi and Amazon and stuff like that. So look around. I enjoy the shows. I think it's very interesting. He never really says one way or another that, it's Bigfoot or they're ghosts or they're teleported away or it's aliens. Or he doesn't really ever specifically say that because he doesn't know. He's a fact kind of a guy. He's a former police investigator, and he was asked at one point about some people that turned up missing, and started digging into it. It's like, man, he started mapping them all out, and there's these giant maps that he has of people all over. If people aren't familiar with his work, I find it very interesting. To be fair, the average person just wandering out, I'm going to go hiking on the path, and they wander a little bit off the path for whatever reason and get lost, and they end up missing because national parks are gigantic. I don't necessarily subscribe to him, but usually the stories that he has, at least specifically on for the 411 movies, and I've not read any of the books, but I imagine they're similar, are the standouts of all of those, where people have their kids out playing in the national park, they're just following the path, and the kids are excited and they're running around, and they literally walk around a corner, and the parents walk around the corner and they're gone. They couldn't have gone that far, and they never find them. Or if they do, it's like a long time later, they'll find their body miles away on unusual circumstances and unusual stages of dress and all this stuff. It's like, how did this little kid get 12 miles away and end up like this? And experience. I think it's the second movie where it's deals specifically with hunters, that people that are familiar with the woods and being outside, know how to take care of those that are armed, and the same thing. They just vanish. They're simply gone. and they find them. If they find them at all, they're like very far away. The thing that really bugs me is because they'll do massive searches for these people, where they'll have hundreds of people literally shoulder to shoulder out in the woods screaming for them, looking for them. They're looking at the ground. They're looking for, traces of them, the whole thing. And when they do end up finding the body in those cases where they do, sometimes years later, it's in an area that's been searched by multiple teams, multiple times with dogs and the whole works. Suddenly they're just magically there. And it's not like they're hidden like under a log or anything. They're like in the open. It's just like somebody just kind of left them there. It's very strange stuff.
The thing that I find cool about that David Paulides is that he gives you so many different options of what things could have happened, and he doesn't like try to shut it down like mainstream investigations. That's why I think so. If someone wanted to see that 411 program that you're talking about, where do you think the first place I should go? Would it be Amazon Prime Video or?
Actually, if you give me a second, I could look it up for as far as all of them go.
Yeah, because I haven't seen them, but I do know that I really like the way that he investigates and leaves things open for people to draw their own conclusions.
Yeah, our good friends over at Tubi, which is a free service, TubiTV.com, has the first and second one out with Missing 411 and then Missing 411 The Hunted, which are both available for free on Tubi. You just got to steer your browser over there or load it onto your Roku or something like that. There's actually a lot of good free stuff, good content on Tubi. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll dump a couple of links in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
Hasn't seen them.
Thank you.
Here's the first one, Missing 411.
I haven't been on Tubi in a while.
Yeah, I like that channel.
They had
I've been looking at more and more stuff on it. Tubi.
They had a funny cartoon on there. It was kind of dirty, but it was fucking hilarious.
I brought this video right here up for Sunsaver. This is Bob Lazar and John Lear back in the day, 89, hanging out looking at UFOs.
Okay. Good luck. No, what? Did you see that movement? No, I didn't. It was like I kept doing. Wow, look how bright it's getting. Look at it now. Dang bright. Not bright enough for me to get the sun of the Here, hold on, right here. Are you there? No. It is bright right now.
And today is March 22nd, 1989. We're standing just about 8 miles due east of Groom Lake, Nevada, the super government secret test site. And just a few minutes ago, we saw one of the government extraterrestrial UFOs fly over there. We all watched it for about 7 or 8 minutes. Right here, I have my Celestron scope. It's 8 inches. And I had it focused in for about 15 seconds and saw for myself that, in fact, it was a disc. We're going to stay here for another couple hours here to see if we can show you folks an actual extraterrestrial flying saucer being flown by the government. So if you just stand by, and we'll be looking over that mountain, which is where they are. They also come over here, which is over at Bald Mountain. There's some lights over there which you can't see, but there are a number of trucks. We don't know whether they're looking down here or what they're doing up there, but we managed to get in here. We're standing on public land. It's completely legal where we are. And if you'd like to come here later in the show, we'll tell you exactly how to get here.
Well, you can mention who's with you, John.
We have Bob Lazar, and we have Jackie Lazar, Bob's wife, and we have Gene Huff. And this mission was organized tonight by Bob Lazar, who is a theoretical physicist who works at Groom Lake.
And is also a dead man at this point. We're having this on film that he wrote.
Yeah, right. I'm happy.
You want your name on there that you're a physicist.
We're
out here with the weight Bob Lazar.
Damn. Yeah, that video I had never seen before, so I thought it was a good one to.
Okay. Good luck.
They're pretty awesome. Those guys.
I also, since
They
I was
gotta
on the
be cool
police,
cats. If Jim hangs out with them, I'm telling you, they got to be some cool ass dudes. I'd like to hang out with them too. I bet.
What's that, Enzo?
I also dropped, since I dropped the other missing 411 things for Tubi, I also dropped David Pilates Can-Am Missing Project, which is the name of his YouTube channel here, where he covers missing cases. He usually does like a historical one and then a more recent one of which is maybe a couple of years old on his channel, at least once a week or so, every couple of weeks.
Oh, thank you for dropping that link. Awesome.
So if people are interested in that, they can check that out.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
There's actually one that he did a couple of weeks ago that if you end up watching the missing 411 UFO one or aliens one or whatever it is it's called, it's currently still a pay-per-view type thing, which wherever you find your pay-per-view stuff, you can find it there. He did have a show that he did a couple of weeks ago on his YouTube channel where he kind of he fleshed out a couple of instances or stories that were told during the pay-per-view show, which actually made a little more sense to me watching that as a follow-up. So if you've seen that, you certainly want to check that out.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
Pilates. Yeah.
Simon said he ain't doing yoga.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I can't do yoga either.
You got to do the yoga, Simon. These girls in here want your Australian ass flexible.
Downward dog face. That's your move.
Yep, downward doggy style. What'd he say? He fasted for...
I fasted for 3 days, and I still don't trust my farts.
Still don't know where they're coming from. Well, just fart and run away from it then.
That's it. That's when you go to the store and walk down the aisle and just crop dust the whole aisle and blame it on someone else.
Crop dusting people. There's a guy that walks around with one of the electric fart machines. It's on TikTok, I think. He just walks up to people. He'll go tornado fart and he'll hit the button and spin around. Or he's really busting ass. I'm not for sure. But he does it in front of girls and stuff, just out in public places, and it's fucking hilarious. I get stuck watching his videos. I can't think of who it is. Some random shit that pops up on TikTok.
Around Christmas time, I always go down the rabbit hole on YouTube of the guy that he's an engineer that designs the package thief trap things where it's got the cell phones and all that stuff built into a pack. He basically leaves a pack like an Amazon box on his porch and waits for porch thieves to come and steal it. But it's got like a series of cell phones and all that other stuff so it can record it and it's transmitting it out so he can catch it so that when they open it,
that's fucked up.
It's got like a glitter bomb and that fart spray and all that stuff. So it's just wrecking their whole apartment that they go back to.
That's funny, dude. That's what they get.
Yep.
Doing fucking boxes and shit, trying to build a clubhouse. Yeah, they like to steal boxes out here in the country. And Amazon, oh man, they're the worst. They'll throw the boxes over the fence or they'll leave them outside the fence. They don't want to open the gate for some reason and put them in the yard. But yeah,
I guess if you got dogs and stuff like that, I could kind of get it. But
yeah, but the dogs aren't out there. No, they're not out there when they're coming anyway. The little bastards are scratching the door. Come on. like that.
Hey, Jeff, good to see you tonight, man. Thanks for coming in.
What's going on, man? Yeah, I dropped a link to Big Willie. He was watching something with his family, watching a show. He might pop in later.
Because he's it's Friday. He's going to be on with Jess Rogie tonight, right?
I don't know. I didn't ask him actually, but is he on every Friday?
I caught her show earlier this week. I had a bout of insomnia and was awake and was able to watch her show. It doesn't even start till like 1 a.m. my time. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure she said Friday night he was supposed to be on, and they're going to be talking about movies and TV and things like that for what you're looking for. It was what you're looking forward to for 2023 kind of thing.
Well, I'm going to watch it after this because I like Jess. I like Jess's show.
Yeah, Jess is a good egg. She's planning on going. She's trying to get some money saved up to go to Contact in the Desert, which I also plan on going to myself. So,
can you tell us a little bit about that? Contact in the Desert?
Contact in the Desert? I'll just pull up their website and throw that link out there as well. Contactinthedesert.com is kind of the Burning Man for ufology kind of thing. It's all of us are. Just throw the link out the chat if anyone wants to check it out. But it's in Southern California. It's out in what is the Palm? What is the name of that place where it's at? Desert Palms or whatever. But I guess Avi Loeb's supposed to be there this year. Some other, Nick Pope, Linda Moulton Howe, George Norrie, those guys.
The regulars.
Yeah, I don't want to run into George Norrie. I'll just make fun of how ridiculously black his mustache is. How old are you? Don't get any of that soy sauce on me. Don't.
But you think that Avi Loeb is supposed to be there in person?
That's what it says actually on the website. I'm looking at it right now.
That'd be awesome.
I'll be right back again.
Harvard theoretical astrophysicist Avi Loeb. And they've got a whole breakdown of the whole thing. I also happen to know that the entire staff for Tony Waba will all be there for that one.
Is that right? The whole staff? Wait.
That's right.
We're gonna get Kari.
Jamie. Kari is coming over.
Oh my gosh.
And
wow.
And Tony from Bottled Water is also they're all gonna be
and amazing.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be there supposedly. So I'm looking forward to that.
Heck yeah.
Because for me, going to things like that, or even like the SOR Vegas meetup, it's not necessarily the actual talks or the people that it's meeting. Basically, all the people that are in like our chat right now, it's meeting the regular people and changing stories and stuff like that. That's always my favorite part. We've all seen the radio things and the video appearances of a lot of the speakers and stuff like that. We're familiar with their shtick. But that face-to-face, one-on-one with people of like mind on the topic, and knowing that you can speak openly and with a group of people that are of similar mind, you don't have to hide or whisper. It's like, so did you see that UFO video? Afraid somebody's going to look at you like you're some weirdo. If you're out in public someplace, knowing that they're at least going to listen to you. They may not necessarily believe whatever your tale is, of course, but they're at least going to give you that fair shake of listening to you. At least that's how I am with people when I have that chat with people out in public.
That's cool, man. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Look forward to getting your full report on that and pictures, if we can get some pictures.
Oh yeah, June 2nd through the 4th of this year, and it's always in the same place. I always forget the name of the deal. Daniel Sheehan's going to be there. George Norrie's going to be there. Caroline Corey's going to be there. There's a lot.
I can't imagine why. I can't imagine why Lou Elizondo wouldn't be there.
And where is this at?
This is Contact of the Desert.
Yeah, where at? Where's it going to be?
I want to say it's in Southern California. I forget the name of the. Give me a second here. I have to find a venue.
Spooky. We can go to that.
I would go if I wasn't stuck here. I totally would.
It's at the Indian Wells Resort and Spa is where the actual conference is. You don't necessarily have to stay there, but wherever that is exactly, I'm not sure. But yeah, it sounds like a fun. It's one of those things. It's like you got to do it at least once. You know, you got to go out there and check it out and say you've been and. All the shenanigans you get up to when you go to those kind of things and all that jazz. So
pretty fun.
I hear it is Hawaiian shirt approved, so I will certainly go there and check that out.
I had fun at the Vegas thing.
Oh, that was so much fun. And it was, for me at least, for the Vegas thing last year, it was the people. It was all the other, the regular folks from the chat. That was actually my favorite moment is there were 4 people from the chat that were like, dude, come with me, come with it. That's the one disadvantage or the one thing I kind of disliked about the whole venue was everywhere down there on Fremont Street, there's no quiet place where you can just have a polite conversation with somebody. Yeah. Everything is loud. We ended up basically huddling amongst the slot machines there on the gaming floor is the quietest place. And they're like, we want to tell you our story and we want to hear your story because we know that you're not going to shit on us for it. It was just the pure honesty of that they felt safe enough to tell me their big secret bait. Not that they're coming out or anything, but it was just like, they can't just tell whatever their thing was and everybody had something different. There was a ghost thing. There was a shadow figures thing. There was an alien or it was a UFO side, not necessarily aliens. There was like a couple different things but everybody had a slightly different story and they're all these topics that we all hear about and they're all curious about. And
my most asked question there was, where's Chad and Spooky?
Yeah.
Sonny, where's Chad when we were in Vegas?
Yeah.
And Dogface is correct. It turns out the hookers do love the Hawaiian shirts. I found out the first night there.
Hey, that Indian Wells area that you're talking about, Enzo, for this conference, that's not too far from where I live. It's in Riverside County. It's where they have the Coachella Music Festival in the valley there. Yeah. And it's it's not too far away. It's actually not. It's actually even closer to Vegas.
Oh,
if you honestly, if you're not planning on like going to any of the speaking parts and just want to drive up and hang out with like the rest of us, like at the end of the afternoon after all the assorted conference stuff is done, that's the big thing with this particular thing is. The morning and like till the late after, to the early afternoon, there's various different conference people, people speaking for, the entire day, telling their deal. But then you have the after hours kind of thing where everybody's just hanging out at the bar or hanging out at the pool or whatever it is. Those are where you're getting your genuine conversation with regular people. But
yeah, and that's the reason I would be going if I could. It would be to hang out with you guys, the girls, and just catch up and see each other in person.
That's actually, and I don't know if she's still in the chat, but I know Rin was in here earlier.
Oh yeah,
that's how I got to meet. Yeah, got to meet her last year at the SOR Vegas. She didn't come for any of that stuff. She just came to talk to us, to me and Sonny and all the other regular chat folks are up. And
she's in California, so I hope she can make it to this one. That would be great if you guys can all meet up again.
And Jim Goodall was there.
Jim Goodall.
Yep, Jim was
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's when he came home with me.
That's right. Right after
here, I think I left before him, and that fucker beat me here somehow.
He didn't have to deal with road bandits like you did, though.
No, we were driving fast because of that, and he still drove faster than us.
That I believe.
Yeah, I don't know what that dude was thinking. I guess he was going to carjack us or something. I don't know what the fuck that was about.
That's such a bananas thing.
That was dumb on his part. But what's the odds you try to carjack somebody and there's a cop in the back seat?
But yeah, there's other things going on. I guess Alien Con is going on out there. That's the Ancient Aliens folks are doing a tour right now in various cities. I don't plan on going to any of theirs, but there are plenty of get-together type opportunities for folks that are interested out in the chat. You may want to meet other folks from the chat face to face and say hi, or at least meet people of like mind of that you are. That's the big thing. I mean, I was shocked as anything. Within an hour of getting in Vegas, start walking around out on Fremont Street, and someone's screaming my name from across the street, comes running over, like, "Hey, how's it going?" He was just a fan of the shows and has seen me on them, and he's like, "Yeah, I work like a shift worker thing, so I always have to listen to the show. I never get to listen to them live, but I always get you guys out. You're always great." And it was just bizarre to have someone
that's
running up like that.
I told the boys too. It was very strange to have someone say, "Hey, Sonny," in the middle of the.
I know
that you
total
don't
strangers,
know.
like,
and you don't know them. And I
money?
mean, you do
Go
know
ahead.
them, but you don't know them because they're a fan in the chat room, and we don't get to see their face, and we don't know the real names. And
yes,
yeah. And I remember D saying, like, "Who was that?" And I was like, "I don't know." It was exciting.
Enzo, did you say this conference was in June? I think I heard you say.
Yeah, Contact in the Desert is June. I want to say June 2nd through the 4th of this year in Indian Wells.
Yeah, Enzo dropped the link for the website in the chat there. So if anybody wants to,
asking
Sunsaver was just asking about the date.
I'll dump it out there in there's the link again.
Thank you.
If
go
we
there
ever
and,
get Chad to fly
check it out.
anywhere, I'll definitely go to that one, whatever it is.
Honestly, I plan on driving.
Oh wow!
Because
Swing
it's
by
not
and
that
grab
big.
Chad.
I'm not. It's not along the way for where I'm at. Because that's one of those things. Is I actually enjoy driving out on the highway, kind of a thing. I love it. I must have been an over the road trucker in a previous life or something, because there's something about once you get out on the highway. Because let's be honest, you don't need to put 100% of your concentration out there. Once you're actually out on the road, you set the cruise control. You got good weather. You don't have to worry about it. You can kind of zone out a little bit and kind of go to your little special happy place and have those kind of random thoughts and just a lot of time to kind of run through things. My personal limit is 12 hours. I don't like driving any longer than that. But even then, I'll cry about it later about doing exactly 12 hours. But I actually enjoy it because to me, going to an event, okay, I have to be there by a certain time. That's a little different. But on the way home, because I'm retired, I can do whatever I want. If I saw something on the way out, it's like, hey, on the way back, I'm going to stop off and check out, the world's largest ball of twine or whatever it is that I saw on the way past, the first time. There you go.
You just like catching up on your grunge music, man.
Well, I have a Sirius XM radio in there, and it turns out we spent 12 hours, then Lizzie Borden and I, Bree, 12 hours together in the truck from Denver to Vegas, and we have one particular channel. My favorite channel is on XM. It's called the Lithium channel, which is all 90s grunge. And most of the time, that's what we listened to that during the road trip was 90s grunge. You've got a whole selection of other things, which we did kind of hop around a little bit. She was in charge of the tunes during the.
They have good playlists on that Sirius XM. Some of those channels, definitely.
Yeah, if you're driving cross country, that's almost a necessity. You gotta have something like that, just for variety, because if you can have like a selection of CDs or just a whole computer full of MP3s or whatever on your phone, all those songs, the order they come up in, the whole spiel. But there's something kind of special about it's. It's not like your exact favorite thing, but it kind of breaks it up a little bit. It may not be like, this isn't exactly on my playlist, but it's an okay song, and it's good. It kind of breaks it up a little bit for me. I kind of enjoy that.
Yeah, one of my favorite times driving to Vegas was for one of my friends' bachelor parties, and I was just all by myself. But it was so nice to just listen to music, and I think at the time Howard Stern was really good because he had. That's when he still had Artie Lang on the show.
Oh,
and I remember listening to that. It was awesome.
Back when he was still funny.
Just playing this so people know that the Earth is not round or not flat.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. You see me waving down there?
Yep, way down there. The creepiest part about any kind of like spacewalk or anything for me is if you just lightly pushed a little bit on the space station, you're going to float that way forever. You're just gone. Billions of years have passed and you're still floating that way.
You think it would just float off into space if it got pushed off in there,
huh? From low Earth orbit like that, you would probably eventually
in the atmosphere, I think.
They're way above the atmosphere there.
Not the atmosphere. They're stuck in the gravitational pool still.
The gravitational pull probably, if you were to just like casually kind of just push off,
because
I think you would probably re-enter the Earth atmosphere, and die screaming as you burn up.
If you went to sleep one day and then woke up and the Earth was gone, you'd be fucked.
Actually, you're kind of fucked if you just do that casual push off thing. It's like, now what? What do you do?
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
You swim.
Against what? There's not even air to like form resistance against.
You better fart your way back to that damn thing.
That's it. You better have that 3-bean combo for lunch, because that's your only chance.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to beat this dog. He's barking again. Go.
Honestly, I don't know why. It seems like to me like astronauts would have like a little pack thing, just a little compressed air thing that they could just kind of, and that would be just enough to push them back towards the ship, kind of a deal.
That'd be cool to ask them, interview one of them, and talk about that kind of stuff.
So if you just had like a fire extinguisher, you'd be like, that would certainly push you,
Yeah, you could zoom all over with one of those. That would shoot me off space.
Yeah, you could do like, which would never work. That was one of those parts of the movie where it's like, yeah, that's not going to work. Is the Matt Damon movie, The Martian, where he was stuck on Mars. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah,
I love that movie. I don't know why, but there's a part at the end where he's cut loose from everything else, and he like slices the hand part of his glove so the air starts rushing out. He was using it. It's like, I'll fly like Iron Man. It was the actual line. And of course, he's spitting all over the place like crazy, which is would happen. So.
Yeah, you need to poke a hole in the fingertip and then
pull my finger. Yeah.
I don't think it works that way. I think if you were to, don't you like implode in there instead of
once the air pressure equal? Because you've only got so much air. You kind of need that to breathe and stay alive.
Yep.
And the way he was zipping around the movie, it's like, I think you'd have been out of air by now. You're pretty close.
I'd try it. Gotta try it. Uh-oh.
Might be time for a refill.
It's running low. It's almost that time. We're almost at the 2-hour mark.
That's it. For having 0 topics, we made it through 2 hours.
I know, Giga. We hung out. It's always fun. I could do it for another 2 hours.
Let's not get carried away.
It's getting pretty chilly. Down to 40 already.
Got a little liquid heat right here.
What time is it? It's 10. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, we're at 2 hours. Yeah, Angel Wings was having some a show, and she was asking me in the chat earlier tonight if we were going to be how long we were going to be going, because she was going to be going live. I think she's doing some readings. So if anybody wants to go over there after this show and hang out and get some readings from Angel Wings, she's awesome at what she does. And I know I got a reading a couple nights ago, and it was really cool.
Very nice.
Let's see if I can get that link.
Yeah, I was about to say, who's coming up next? Where can the folks go that want to party a little longer?
Jess, Rogie.
Yep. We still got another hour, I think, till her show's on. So,
and I think
with
Willie will be on there.
With Big Willie will be on there.
I messaged him. I don't think he messaged back yet, though. Yep. Ooh, maybe he's getting ready.
Yeah, Angel Wings is reading right now, so
okay.
I'll drop the link.
Yeah, let's do that, and then
yeah.
Man, how much longer the boys got at work? Let's see, it's 10.
Yeah, I chatted with
work pretty soon.
Yeah, he told me that he doesn't get home until about 1 o'clock in the morning.
But at least they'll be done. Oh, they get home at 1, then he's probably already. Yeah.
I'd be surprised if we see either one of the boys tonight.
I doubt they're gonna feel like getting on. They've been working 10 hours?
At least.
Man, that stinks. How much longer are they going to be on those hours, those extended hours?
You know, I think, yeah, I mean, he said that once the new year kicked in, all these orders just came and blasted him with all this work that needs to be done.
That's good.
So
really, look how much money they're making.
That's good for business. And honestly, that's kind of the opposite of what I've been hearing from other industry friends that I have that have said that they're shutting down projects. They're actually planning on.
Go ahead.
I was going to say their other industry friends I have of their industries are planning on an economic slowdown. I won't say.
Well, yeah,
recession,
I mean, we just heard.
but,
what did they announced that Google was going to be laying off 11,000 employees. I mean, all these companies are laying off people. But the problem, the thing with Chad's company is that they provide these bolts for these auto manufacturers. And, you know, there's still a high demand for that. I mean, it's a booming business still.
Yeah, and that's a good line of work to be in when you're needed even in a bad economy. That's a good thing. Mm-hmm. You're working your butt off, but you're working. That's a lot of people can't say that.
Sonny, I think it's probably a good time to call it a show. I think we did really good.
Did all right. I hope everyone had fun hanging out.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, everybody, so much for being with us tonight. It was really a lot of fun. If you want to go and get some readings from Angel Wings, our dear sister in the community, she's amazing at what she does. And then, of course, at 11 o'clock, like Enzo was saying, the Just Rogie show, 11 o'clock Pacific time. I kind of think Big Willie might be there because I know he's there one Friday every month. But even if he's not there, Jess's show is amazing, and she's just really awesome.
Yep. Open lines, fringe movies and TV shows coming in 2023 is the topic tonight.
Great.
So you can call in if you like.
I'm going to call in. I'm going to crank call her. Ask her if the refrigerator's running.
You got Prince Albert in a can? Why don't you let him out? Yeah, I told her she could sleep on the floor of my place during Contact in the Desert.
Oh, why? Nice. I just dropped that link for the Just Rookie. So now we have the. Oh, I see Enzo did it too. We've got Angel Wings in there. We've got Just Rogie in there. So make sure you check those out. Show support. Appreciate everybody being with us tonight. Love you all so very much. And just stay positive, right? Because there's a lot of energy. People talk about the energy. We showed the sun flares and, everything that we're getting. There is a reason why you're feeling what you're feeling, but just stay as positive as you can and be grateful for what you have, and everything will be good. Gonna have a good 2023.
Yeah, and thanks guys for being here. Like I said, thank you everybody in chat.
Thank you, Sonny. Thank you, Enzo.
Thank you for doing this tonight.
Thank you, folks, man. This is fun.
Said, no topic, but it's always cool when we just hang out.
Right on.
It's always fun. But all right, guys, till next time.
See you next time, y'all.
That's right.
Bye.